George has met everybody's mother. He had to get permission to take these children out on the road. So he has stories about meeting all the band members' mothers, from Bernie to Eddie to Billy to all of them, all the way up to Mike, myself.
Welcome to Overeducated and Underemployed. Got a great episode this week with Lige Curry. Had a great talk about everything. He's powerhouse, been Parliament-Funkadelic for over 50 years. First meeting him in 1974. Tells us all about it. We talk about that and way more. Next week we got Matthew Cravener. He's a film composer. And we had a really interesting talk about dyslexia and music and how that affects just the way he plays music and a whole lot more too. So please hit subscribe. Tonight, I'm in Winder, Georgia. And then tomorrow, I'm opening for Drew Morgan to kick off AthFest. And then Friday, on the Joker TV live stream of AthFest, I will be hosting a block in between some bands from 8:30 to 9 on their live stream. That's Eastern time. I'll also be filming that segment for a future episode. So please tune into that. The link to their channel is in the description. Without further ado, here's my interview with Lige Curry of Parliament-Funkadelic. Welcome to Overeducated and Underemployed.
Oh, thank you for having me, bro.
I'm here with Lige Curry. He is the bass player for Parliament-Funkadelic.
Yes, I am.
And I'm here to, first I'm just gonna ask you the same question I ask everybody to start with. And what's the first song that you remember loving as a kid?
That I remember loving as a kid, it would probably be, oh wow, so many, bro. As a kid, like what age though?
Like the first song you really remember latching onto.
Oh my God, probably the Mickey Mouse.
Like the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse song?
Yeah, Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse. I mean, when you're a kid, you listen to kid stuff.
Yeah.
And that might have been one of the first ones that caught me. I didn't start, my mother played music all the time, and my dad, they worked, but they love blues and stuff. But for me, it was watching TV and picking up on some of those theme songs.
Yeah.
Andy Griffin.
I think that's pretty common.
Kind of stuff.
A lot of the folks I've talked to, like whatever the first song is,
yeah.
Most of the time it's tied to some movie, or TV show. Even like when people talk about the Beatles, it's like Ferris Bueller is how they first heard the Beatles,
right?
Or something like that. So, were you like playing music a lot as a kid, or was that something that you?
Well, as a kid, well, I didn't really get into music until after like I was about 13.
Okay.
A teenager.
Do you remember the first concert you went to?
The first concert that I went to was my mother taking me to see Jackie Wilson.
Oh, wow.
And she was taking herself.
Yeah. She had to take you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But those moments, like she took me to a few concerts. She took me to see James Brown. She took me to see little Stevie Wonder. I was born in Flint, Michigan.
Okay.
And Stevie he was like 12, 13, 14, whatever. But these concerts my mother took me to was when I was a kid, like before the ages of 10.
So do you think you realized the significance of some of those people that you were seeing back then?
I know it. It's just, it happens. And when they use that phrase, we're only human, this is a good place to use it because you pick up, when you're a kid, you're like a sponge.
Yeah.
So you want to know how that feels, and you want to explore into things, and And that's what happened with me because I seen my mother get excited about music. So that automatically drew me to like and got my attention. It's like, what is she getting all excited about? And these entertainers going to see them live, I was like blown away. She definitely was the reason why I got into it. My father he was a singer,
Mm-hmm.
but he worked at the plant. He sang on the weekend. He sang in, my people are from Mississippi, and my dad sang in gospel choirs and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And a lot of my cousins, they said, well, you got that singing thing from your dad. I think it was a combination of both of them. Even though my dad physically sang and my mom did, my mom was really into music, like I said, to go to concerts and stuff. So having both sides of that, I think, just drove me right into.
Well, and it sounds like you saw what music could do to people.
Yeah. But you asked the one, I think you asked what was my first concert that I went to, like I bought tickets for. Okay, yeah, I was definitely, by this time, my folks split up. I moved to Cleveland, my mom, and that's where I met Mike Hampton, but that's another story. Who is my cousin or whatever, and I love him to death. And, but I was trying my best to go to as many concerts as a teenager as possible. By the time I got old enough to get on the train and go downtown Cleveland and go, me and Mike's brother would go to a lot of them. And I seen Larry Graham, the Ohio Players, LaBelle, all those type of acts that came through Cleveland at the time. And I seen this group called Brian Auger and the Oblivion Express.
Yeah, I know Brian Auger.
You know what I mean? And they came through, and it was just, I would go to, Cleveland had a lot of different clubs. It's a rock and roll city, you know what I mean? And it basically exposed me to like different types of clubs, like theaters and stuff that was downtown Cleveland. And they had the public auditorium, the public arena down there, which is where I seen Funkadelic for the first time, live. And they blew my mind.
Yeah.
George was really looking crazy back then.
Do you remember what year that was?
That was in 1974.
Okay.
So yeah,
like
we were still teenagers.
Yeah.
Me and Mike both. We seen them together.
Okay.
Yeah, we went to that show because some friends of ours that we knew them personally.
Okay.
And we didn't believe it, but turns out they did.
But you were big fans already.
We were playing the music. Michael, we put a band together after a while being in Cleveland. And we would win a lot of talent shows because Michael would play Maggot Brain note for note, and it would blow off. And back then, Funkadelic was like underground, but still very popular.
Yeah.
They had changed. They were like these hippies. They really were. They were like some of the first. They wasn't calling a jam band back in those days. I don't think they was calling a jam band when Jerry was doing it.
No, I don't think so.
I think this phrase came along later after they had invented it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like used to describe what they were already doing, I guess.
Yeah, I think so too. You're definitely right. They were already doing it. And that's what made them special. Because I played with P-Funk for a while now, and I've done shows with George where we played up to 4 and 5 hours.
Yeah,
I've
seen some of those shows. Yeah,
and that's the way the band was built. They're gonna play 4 or 5 hours or whatever. Crazy. We were all nuts back in those days, but we did it.
Yeah,
and we started actually doing that. We developed a new following. We started getting deadheads.
Right.
Because they were used to Jerry and Phil Lesh and all of those guys doing it.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I think that is even like more true now. Like if you think about the people that kind of retroactively get into like the Grateful Dead. And,
oh yeah.
they go the people that go see all the members of Grateful Dead or the tribute bands.
Right.
They're going to Funkadelic shows too. I think.
Right. Right.
So at what point? I mean, did you ever, like at 16, did you ever imagine that you would join the band?
No. We were happy playing it, and then like I said, it's a long story about Mike Hampton or whatever.
Yeah.
But we were,
and that story's been told a lot too.
Yeah, when we met them, when we got a chance to meet them, was after the show, and it was at an after party.
Because the people you went with knew them.
Yeah, the people that we knew them, and we didn't think that they were telling the truth. But that's how we got a chance to meet them. And that same night.
That's how people react when I tell them I know you.
Well, after a while, I guess a lot of people don't know the deep history of Parliament-Funkadelic. They might know a little bit, but you have to really go into it a little bit more, and you'll find out who's what and who did this.
Yeah.
And then there's people who read the album covers, and that's good. The Japanese are real good at that. They are very, very deep in researching.
I remember back when I was working at Vinyl Fever, some of the Japanese imports were like the only versions of some of those Funkadelic records that we could get at the time.
Well, the Family series was like that.
Yeah, they were only in print in Japan at the time.
Right.
We'd have to import them.
Yeah.
So let me back up for a second though. You're 16. You see Funkadelic.
Yeah, we see them. We meet the guys, and we play. At like I said, this after party.
So that was the night that the after party that you and Mike played Maggot Praying. That was the night you met him for the first time.
That was the night we met him the first time.
First time you ever saw him.
First time we ever.
Wow.
I got a chance to shake Boogie Motson's hand, and Gary Scheider, George Clinton, Bernie Worrell, Eddie Hazel was even there.
Wow.
And that really was a special treat for Michael. And the thing about that night was our equipment was already at this place because we rehearsed at this place. But it was a house. But if you go in like their little dining room, they had all of our equipment set there so we could rehearse. So that's where we went. And because the guy that knew them, that knew us as well, he told him, like, hey, we got this kid, man. He can play Maggot Brain note for note. And they were like, really? So, it's like we went and plugged in. Michael, I did the little Pagio thing on the bass. Do-do-boo-de-boo-do. He went into the Maggot Brain, and then he fucked him up. After we finished, I just remember, like, they really rushed him. Like, not rush him, but they all wanted to say something to him. And Gary and Boogie was looking down at the pedals that he was using. Because back in that day, when we were teenagers, Michael was really doing it like the record. Like the sound effects and everything. So he had all these fucking pedals, and he would go into because Eddie would go into them parts on the record where it's like you might hear some delay or anything like that, and he wanted to make sure he had that sound.
So I interviewed Weird Al's guitar player.
Yeah.
And the same thing for him, because like to him, the closer he got to the original, the funnier the parody.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? So it was always very important to him to recreate every guitar effect, every
right.
And back in the day, I mean, now I think he talks about using like a digital rig and things like that. But back in the day, I mean, you had to go figure out what pedal they were using.
Right.
Go buy that pedal, figure out what settings they were using. I mean, all that stuff.
Still do that today.
Yeah. You had to really be kind of a nerd about it.
Yeah, you did.
So
the nerdier the better.
Did you start playing with them immediately after that, or was...
I didn't, but Michael got a call. I was still in high school.
Okay.
I was in the 11th grade, and Michael had just graduated. He was in the 12th grade. He's a year older than me. And to make a long story short, that summer a couple months went by, well, not very long, and they called Mike up. They got Mike's number from the people that know us, that know them.
Right.
And the guy knew it he kept saying that Michael's probably gonna get snatched up. That was the night of the party and what we played. He kind of knew it. I don't know how he knew it, but he knew it. And Michael got a call, and he and I used to hang out always, all the time. And it was like, you got to do this. So we packed a bag. They had like a prepaid ticket. I had a car. I had an old 1963 LeSabre Buick. And I told him, I said, hey, I'll take you to the airport. And I did. And pretty much the rest is history. He got in the band. You know, Eddie was on hiatus or something like that. I really don't know the real story behind it. But then he came back, so it didn't really matter. But I think they more than anything wanted Mike to be in the band after they had heard him that night play.
Yeah.
And then he was 17 years old. And
in Georgia, I think, was always looking for young guys. Right?
Gary and Boogie used to tell me the same stories. Like, George has met everybody's mother. He had to get permission to take these children out on the road. So he has stories about meeting all the band members' mothers, from Bernie to Eddie to Billy to all of them. You know, all the way up to Mike, myself, you know, Clip.
That's wild.
Danny. You know,
I mean, that
all the mothers.
I relate to that though, because I was the kid.
Because he was always older, you know, and he's running the shit. So it's like, yeah, I got to go talk to the parents about.
That's great.
You know, taking their child away.
Well, I think back, like, so I was a kid going on the road with bands as well, not playing, but like selling merch or running sound or lights or just like whatever they could find a room, however they could find an excuse to get me on the bus, you know. And it was the same deal. They, you know, the rock stars would come meet my mom.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Be like, you know what? We promise we'll take good care of them.
Right,
okay.
Right.
So, did you have aspirations? Because you were playing in another band at that point.
Well, I was in the band. Me and Michael was in this band that these people knew Funkadelic, right? So we were in the band together. So when he left, they replaced him with 2 guitar players. And they brought him in.
It still probably wasn't enough, right?
Well, you know, we got the job done, and then we started taking on our little identity. And at that time, you know, I was just graduating out of high school, and my mom wanted me to go straight to college, but I didn't. I went with the band. I went and stayed over on the east side of Cleveland with them. And then they did what was called a chipping circuit. We went down south, and we did all kind of like Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, all kind of stuff down there with the band. And then I was trying to get into it like that, but my heart was somewhere else, I guess, with Funkadelic. I knew Michael was gone.
Were you jealous?
Well, no, not jealous.
No?
I was so proud because I knew, like us as kids coming up, you have your parents, you have your relatives, and your neighborhood people tell you, hey, you can really play, you know? But you really don't know how good you are until you put yourself through the real test. And Funkadelic was worldly, you know, at the time, even in the early 70s. And now you know, okay, if they saying you got something, you must have something.
Right.
You know, and so that's how I looked at it as far as judging how good you were to be involved in it. And now it's always times when you have to learn every time you climb up the ladder in something. And with P-Funk, it was no different. We had to learn all of this stuff before we could actually play it. You know, having the ability to do it, that's one thing, but now you really have to learn what's going on and what the music is all about.
Yeah.
And I was blessed too by having some of those guys. Some of them have passed away now, rest in peace. You know, but I had a real blessing to learn from a lot of them, and which makes me able to still stand up and stand on their shoulders and be thankful and grateful for all of the stuff that they've given all of us, basically, that is still here to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Danny and I called it P-Funk University.
Yeah, it is. It's a university. It's you graduate, and it's different levels of it too. Because Georgia's overall family, not just personal family, but world family of funk, is huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's iconic now. I
Right.
look at him. He's 85, and that's a miracle he's still even doing this. But he's an iconic type figure to me now because of what has passed through him and what people have picked up from him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially the hip hop world, and we can talk. That's a whole nother story.
Shonda and I talked about that some. Like, that was when she realized he was cool.
Yeah.
It was like when Snoop was like, "No, George is the guy."
Right,
Like,
right.
She was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
I mean, she always, she always thought he was cool, but like, that was when she realized that he was.
Is what they were doing.
Yeah.
What they were doing with the music makes George that much more iconic. Every time I think about it, those guys' careers literally were created from melodies of P-Funk. You listen to the Chronic record, and
Yeah.
Dr. Dre said this is one of these affairs we was just at, and he said if it wasn't for that man right there, I wouldn't have no career.
Yeah.
And he was talking about Mr. George Clinton. Chronic album, don't get me wrong, is one of hip hop is like the holy grail.
Yeah. For sure.
I mean, a lot of stuff was taken away from that and learned from that. So, but anyway, it's for me. I enjoyed it more than anything, man. Just being able to still be doing this and doing it at a level where we still hanging in there with everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The music hasn't like outdated itself or anything like that.
No, if anything, it's proven itself to be like timeless.
Yeah, it is.
In a way,
it is.
So, at what point did you realize that your part of your role was like protecting the legacy of this music too?
What part? Now, what?
Like, at what point did you realize that playing in this band was also like protecting, like you were protecting the legacy by playing it and playing it right? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been in the band 40 plus years now, and I started physically playing in the band in '79.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew that the legacy was always important. As long as George was living and doing it, I was still living it with him.
Yeah.
And I was still in real time seeing how significantly important it is to keep something like this going on because of the legacy of and how it's touched so many people, like I just said before. And it's a legitimate something to put on your resume.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've been doing it for a while. I'm just glad I've been doing it with him for a while now. I can say that I'm still doing it, and he still wants to have me around.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel very blessed. I never take that for granted. I never, after all these years, I still don't rest back on my heels, as they say. I still try to stay on the balls of my feet with him. He's older now. He might be moving around a little slower, but he's still sharp as hell.
He really is.
You know what I mean, when it comes to the music and everything like that. So I still, every time I'm on stage, I try to learn as much as I can from him. Every time. So that can go on. He don't look like he's going nowhere too soon.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either, man. It's kind of crazy.
He can stop telling people he's retiring because he ain't retiring.
Yeah.
Was cool though.
Sounds like Tom Brady or something.
I think he thought about it, considered it, and just said no.
I don't think what so. I've kind of learned by talking to a lot of these different people, people like you yourself, is like once it's like in you, it's never really. You might stop doing it to like make a living all the time or whatever. You might slow down, but it's like you can't stop.
Yeah.
I've most of these people I like. Man, and I watched Paul McCartney on SNL last weekend, right?
Oh yeah, I seen that.
And he can't stop though. He can't stop himself. It's in him. He will always.
You'd be surprised.
He will play till the day he dies.
You'd be surprised, like how many fans don't want him to stop. That's what I had to find out about George. He was like letting me know that there's so many fans that don't want him to stop.
It's true. I'm one of them.
Those fans outnumber the other fans that think he should maybe you should retire.
Well, I think George is a very different case than Paul, but that's a
Well, that's
whole other story too.
I'm just saying that the 80s, when that kick in, biologically, you're supposed to, I guess, is what they say, but they're both proving them wrong, Paul and George.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
But
because they're about this, I think they're both about the same age.
About the same age. But it's all about how you deal with how you are. Like I'm gonna always say the music is keeping them both alive.
Right.
So let them keep doing it. Let them keep going as long as they can go, because they're loving it.
Yeah, exactly. There's no stopping them.
At the end of that Paul McCartney thing, did you notice when they was shaking hands, then Paul looked over at my man that was hosting, Will Ferrell, yeah. And he said, he pointed, should I go over here? Did you see that? When he
did, yeah.
And he pointed over there, and he went to the stage where the band was, because they gave him extra time. That's how much
they played him out. Yeah.
Man, come on, man. Yeah. People love that shit, man.
Paul and I have the same birthday.
Lorne Michaels, man, that motherfucker, he trying to get a fucking. I'm gonna tell you, listen, Paul is still a Beatle, bro.
Yeah.
He will be till he passed, and he ain't going nowhere yet. Him and Ringo, they hanging in there. But yeah, I love the fact that I can still stand on the shoulders, man, of these great mugs tonight. I hope to have a great show tonight here in Jacksonville. This festival looked like it's on point.
It sure does.
We got here kind of early because we're headlining. They make the headliners sound check first, so we
backline everything.
We were up at 8 o'clock in the morning over here, and
I was here listening to it, man. It sounded awesome.
Well, we were glad to get we were glad to get a sound check in, because we still working with some guys that they're not new, but they're still very young to it.
Yeah.
And it's taken a minute, but they're doing a very good job, I might add. So we take a little bit more time, maybe, to just get out and let them get comfortable, and just understand. Like, I learned that about the music industry too, in any industry, patience. Yeah. You really do have to be patient in a lot of things that you do, and a lot of us want to just go, which is cool. If you're on a schedule.
There's a time for that.
Yeah, it's a time, but it's also a time to just relax and be patient with it and let it happen, let it come to you. And that was a good check we did have. I enjoyed it.
Well, and it was exactly what you're talking about. It was very just kind of relaxed. Nobody's coming up behind you to try and load their stuff up next. Like, it was, they've definitely like spaced things out nicely here.
Is this the only stage?
I think there is another stage, but it
in another area.
Yeah, I think it is around the corner or something like that. Yeah. And I don't think they have anything playing at the same time. I think it's like they're alternating kind of thing.
Okay.
So one thing you mentioned about your childhood that I want to go back to a little bit was, and it was just something I noticed. It was a public performance hall, public theater, public transportation to get there.
Yeah.
How much of a role of these like publicly funded things, even just having like public transportation? Because I imagine like Flint, Michigan was probably very much a car town. Not a lot of public transit.
All of Michigan was a car town.
Right. So then, so you go from not having public transit to having it in Cleveland. Did you notice like a big? I mean, sounds like it was a lot easier to get downtown, go to shows, do things. I mean, you were older.
I mean, I had to be like, I was in high school. My mom was she was cool, but she was also a mom that was concerned, and especially when you're teenager still in the house. I don't care what people say. Your parents are still like looking at you like, don't try no crazy shit now.
Yeah.
But she let me go downtown. There's this thing in Cleveland called the Rapid, and it's a train, and they had them in all our neighborhoods or whatever. Me and Mike grew up on the west side of Cleveland, but all of the all of the stuff that we were doing, with the band that I told you about, the new P-Funk, they all lived on the east side of Cleveland.
Yeah, yeah.
And our parents kind of like mildly told us, like, don't go over there, because it was more of the ghetto or whatever, and there was a lot of things always going on in Cleveland, but on the east side, it was always terrifying. And you had to know somebody, or whatever.
I got you.
But so we and then just like when your parents tell you not to go somewhere, you go.
Right. Right.
And we went. And that's how we met P-Funk. Had I not had a car to get over there, and see those guys when we did, because we had started practicing with them, to do shows. We were still in school, but they were older than us, just like P-Funk. They was like the same age those guys. So we always, me and Michael was always in bands with people that were older than us.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we're the old guys.
Yeah. It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. I'm glad to be able to say that.
What do you think are some of the biggest challenges that have emerged in touring, that sort of thing, over the last 40 years? Like, what's different now than it was a long time ago?
Well, touring, I don't know. I mean, it's just like now technology has taken over in a lot of ways. Outside of just, some of us been with George since the 70s, and then you look at him, but we're still going. Like I said, the thing about it is he's landing the Mothership this year.
I know.
2026. How about that?
New Orleans
at the Essence Festival.
Yeah, y'all be there.
And I mean, to me, man, to be a part, like I really came in at the end of the first Mothership.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first landing of that was in '76. I came in around 3 years later after that.
And now it's in the Smithsonian.
Well, the second one.
Oh, the second one.
The one from '96.
Okay.
You got '76, '96, and now 2026.
All right.
So it's like a trilogy of Mothership.
Yeah.
And I'm very interested in seeing how they're gonna do this new one. Should be good. They've been telling me they've been building it.
Who's building this one?
I don't know the company's name,
I got you.
But I know some of the people that's involved in it, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be something pretty fantastic. And like I said, technology, and we're trying to get a tour going on with this.
Yeah.
About it, the landing of the Mothership, and go through all of that, get support acts or whatever they do. But I'll be glad when they get it all together, because I'm ready to go. I'm ready to ride.
Let's talk about P-Funk Fest for a minute.
Yeah, P-Funk Fest. I loved it.
You played in like 5 bands that day.
At least. It was about 5 or 4 or 5. But the thing about it, man, I loved every second of the P-Funk Festival. It was watching a dream come true from all levels. And that was another thing, man. I got really emotional about that. It was like, this is something that I was so proud of the family. Shonda Clinton Drennan and Jason Drennan. They had an idea, and when they stepped to me with it, and they said something to me about a P-Funk festival, and we're gonna call it Let's Take It to the Stage. I said, oh, I'm in. I'm in. You ain't got to worry about me. So to me, I thought it was just a wonderful thing. One of the thing they posted online was a shot of the Phipps, the family. They had like a drone, and the drone went over the site. You know what I mean? The drone went over the site, and it showed how many people that actually came out. You know what I mean?
It was amazing.
And I really love that.
That was a cool drone
shot.
Because
I was like, you know what? This is for the first festival. Oh, this is shit.
And we're gonna keep going, right?
We should.
Yeah, everybody I've talked to says it's gonna happen again next year.
We should. We should keep going, and we should have been doing it 15 years ago. But that's another story. But I'm just glad we're doing it now, because you got to start somewhere.
Well, they say the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, and the second best
And it'll
time
help
is
out the
today.
legacy of it too.
Yeah.
I trust Shonda and Jason to do very well. I know they learned a lot with the first one. I know they did, but that's what it's about.
Yeah.
You learn and you find out how to do it, and you do it even better.
And I think everybody had a great experience, so it's like a really positive thing to grow from, too.
Yeah. I mean, I loved it, bro. I'm glad you was there to experience it.
It was really something I didn't really know what I was gonna, because I've been to a bunch of Funkadelic shows.
Yeah.
P-Funk All-Stars, all that stuff. But that was like, it was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It really was. It was like, it was so much more than that.
Right.
It felt, Shauna said it was like inspired by those shows in the 70s where it would be like Brides of Funkenstein.
Right.
Funkadelic. Right. Just like, it was kind of all the same band, but
yeah, I mean, because it was different bands though, actually, but and it was, certain members played like I did.
Right.
They played in other bands.
And that's more what I meant. Was it was like a lot of overlap between,
you have the P-Funk horns, they would play with the Brides or something, or Bootsy or something. But everybody would switch around, and the industry found out it's all the same people. That's all Motown was doing though.
Yeah.
They was doing it, but it wasn't a big deal, I guess, for them. But
well, and George was a songwriter for like he was a staff songwriter.
I think he got a lot of his ideas came from Motown,
from that business model, and that
came from Motown. Yeah.
So you knew George when he moved to Monticello.
Yeah.
Why Monticello? Do you have any idea? Like, did it make sense to you
one
at the
time
time?
we played this club called the Moon. We used to do the Moon frequently.
Yeah.
And
I've seen a bunch of shows.
Yeah, the Moon in Tallahassee.
Even when they shot the pilot for the reality.
Okay.
I was even at that. Yeah.
But anyway, he used to call us down here to do that, and then he would invite certain people over to do some session work.
Yeah.
And we would do the session work.
But you don't really remember why he moved there in the first place?
Well,
I've heard it was the fishing, but that's
could be the fishing. It could be like just get out of Detroit.
Yeah. You think he wanted to change around that time?
Well, I don't know if he wanted it. I really couldn't tell you. But
fair enough. I plan to ask him.
I mean, I know that whatever he did it for, he's comfortable now, right where he's at.
Yeah, he loves it there.
I was at his house over in Tallahassee, and
for Word of South.
Well, yeah, he invited me over a few times, and I asked him. I said, "Listen, is this where you're gonna be now?" He said, "This is it, where I'm gonna be." So there you go. He found his spot.
Yeah. Well, and I think like Tallahassee's been good to him. Monticello, like we love having him there, man.
He's been down here for a while now in Florida. Yeah.
So
anyway,
what's before we go? Do you see anything beyond this for you? Like, I know Lizedelik is a thing that
I'm working with some people now back in San Diego where I stay. I go through different people who want to try to manage me and do things.
Mm-hmm.
I was working with a guy over in Switzerland, but it depends on if you got the work, you got the work, kind of thing with me. I don't have no Lizedelik schedule or nothing like that going on right now, other than what I've been doing around my San Diego area. And like I said, I'm looking for more things. I work alongside of Danny Bedrosian in his Secret Army. He's got a tour coming up.
Yeah.
In June.
20th anniversary.
20th anniversary we've been doing it, and I couldn't believe that. But Danny has been a good guy. We became friends a little bit after he got in the band. And
what's crazy to me about this band?
Then there's Clip 420.
Yeah.
We did that at the P-Funk Fest.
That was a lot of fun.
420 was different.
It's crazy to me how big the collective is, where you can you literally could have two band members that don't even really know each other that well, just because. There's so many.
You can have, and it's always been like that around George's environment. He's always had like other acts going on.
Mm-hmm.
and other deals going on. So we ain't no different. We see how he do it, how he's done it, and we're doing the same thing.
What are some of the biggest lessons you've learned from George over the years?
Probably just like stuff that you wouldn't think of. Like he is very persistent in what
Me too. Yeah.
and what he does, and because I think that's how and why he got so much work done.
Yeah. Yeah.
His work ethics is just incredible.
He's one of the most prolifically productive people especially in
He
back
knows
in the
how to
day.
make
Like,
records.
he would make
man.
record
He
after
knows
record
how to
after
make
record.
records, man. That's something that he knows how to do, and he mastered it. A lot of people can tell you because he's got platinum and gold and all of that.
Yeah, that means something, but I think what means more is the ability to get in there and make a record with literally anybody. Like
Oh yeah,
it's one thing to like have an album sell well,
yeah.
but to literally just be able to do
Well,
it
he's
with
been
pretty much
universal.
anybody.
He's been universal with that one for a while.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, he produced a Chili Peppers record back in the 80s. Yeah, no, he's all over the place.
He can tell if you got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He can tell. So.
And it never has to be a specific thing. It's just it.
Yeah. Just it, man.
Well, it sounds like this band's about to sound check here. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this up?
Man, just go to my sites, and I got my website coming up. It ain't done yet, but ligecurry.com will be in effect. I got a little QR code. You can go to my page, Facebook, Instagram.
It's on the screen right now.
Yeah, you
Scan
can
it.
find it.
I'll put it on.
If you want me to do anything other than what I do all the time, get up with me. I'm always welcome to bring in new people that find out who's out there. And now I'm so glad about your show, and all of the online shows that are out there now.
Yeah,
I'm supporting them all.
I really appreciate like all the access and stuff that the whole P-Funk family has given me, man.
Yeah.
Y'all have been so kind, and just thank y'all. Thanks, man.
All right, my brother. My brother.
What an unbelievable opportunity to get to talk to Lige. Thanks again for coming on the show. We'll see you next week. Hope y'all come out, those y'all in the Athens area. Hope to see you at AthFest. Hope to see you at Livewire tomorrow night. Hit subscribe. Thanks a lot, y'all.